welcome to the Astro Imaging Journey channel. Please enjoy the episode. Hello and welcome back to my Astro Imaging Journey channel. And I know in the past few episodes they were from early December, and here we are mid-January now, and I had a lot of plans for December. Wanted to do some asteroid hunting, wanted to get the conjunction with Saturn and Jupiter, and I wanted to do not only the asteroid hunting but some time-lapse footage with the Orion project, so the collaboration project on the Astro Imaging channel. And well, December was not too kind. Mother Nature decided to, I guess she wanted to cry a little bit over 2020 because it was rainy, it was cloudy, it was miserable. A little bit of snow here and there too. So it wasn't a great December for astro imaging. So in this video, what I want to do is I just want to share some of the time lapses with you. Don't have a lot else that happened in December, so alright, so up here you should see the first time lapse. This was a test. I was trying to show the asteroid hunting in Orion's heart, and what I did was I took my DSLR, mounted it to the top of the OTA, and proceeded to use backyard EOS, since this was a DSLR, and capture 10-second frames at 1600 ISO. I believe it was f4.5 and 10 millimeters, and this time I got it nice and dialed in on the focus, and everything as far as this part was working great. The ability to do the time lapse and see the motion where the camera is stabilized and tracking, and you see the trees and the earth move underneath the night sky. So from that perspective, that worked. However, you can tell from the video, the clouds were not conducive to too much imaging that night. But again, it was a test because Orion was, that I had that narrow 3-hour window, I think it was. It just, I had some imaging I wanted to do beforehand and then after, so I just let the time lapse run throughout the night, and that's what you're looking at here. So proof of concept, what I wanted to do worked. However, clouds and everything else just didn't work. So I didn't get any usable data on the asteroids, but I did get a couple hours in there. Did happen to yield some decent subframes for some of the other narrowband and broadband targets. So I got a little bit of data on that night for my normal imaging, but as far as the asteroid hunting, between the high-level clouds causing issues with tracking and a few other things, I didn't get too many good frames to be able to get a good data set that I would feel would be useful to MPC and others. So to that end, the asteroid hunting was a bust, but the test was a success and the time lapse was a success. So 2 out of 3 is not too bad. And next up was the conjunction. So we had Jupiter and Saturn. They were real close together, less than 0.1 degrees, I believe, on December 21st. And as you can see here, I didn't even bother moving the telescope out to where I would have been right here to try and get an image all 3 nights. So the 20th, 21st, and the 22nd, that would have been able to see Jupiter and Saturn in the same frame on the sensor with the telescope, just did not occur. So the clouds were just too thick all 3 nights. And I believe on the 22nd we actually got some rain. So instead I just took my tripod out there and captured some shots, hoping that I would get something, that the clouds would break even momentarily. They were thick enough that I would not have been able to do a proper polar alignment, and therefore my tracking for Jupiter and Saturn would have been complete crap, for lack of a better term. And yeah, so if the clouds had broken in that brief window before Saturn and Jupiter set, then I would have had to try to get polar aligned and then star aligned, and it would have been an exercise in futility, because I knew if there was a break in the clouds, it was only going to be for a few minutes. And 5 minutes would be if I did everything perfectly and quickly and everything went absolutely great. Yeah, five minutes, maybe I could have gotten that alignment and polar alignment and star alignment completed. However, most days that generally takes me 10 to 15 minutes to get to that point. So yeah, that was, I didn't think there would be that much time. So I just wanted to sit out there, take some shots with the DSLR on a tripod, and hope and pray that I got something. And as you can see with it looping, I got nothing. So it is what it is. So in this one, you can see this was just another one where I knew the clouds were going to be there, so I didn't do any asteroid hunting. I was just hoping. I know when we talk about planetary imaging, it's referred to as lucky imaging. Well, I'm kind of using that term here because I knew the clouds were going to be in and out, and with 10-minute subs for narrowband, it was going to be lucky if I got anything usable that night. But the clouds were in and out, so I tried to get something, and I got a little bit of something. But there was 2 things you probably notice in this video. One of the targets, when I did the planning, I failed to take into consideration how close the moon was. So all of those frames, even though I was in narrowband, were a little bit washed out. So the signal to noise was not there. So I did not keep them. But as you can see in the video, the moon was bright. It was, I think, 95 or 97% illuminated, and it was just, you can see in these 10-second exposures, these individual frames that are make up this time lapse. You can see the telescope. You can see the frost that developed on the dew shield. You can see the brown in the trees and the grass, and it with a 10-second exposure, it looks almost like dawn or twilight. It's the moon was just bright. So narrowband, the imaging that I did where I was pointed roughly 45 to 90 degrees away from the moon, those subs I was able to keep. However, the target, and I can't remember which target it was now, I believe it might have been the monkey head, was right there near the moon, and those unusable frames. So but we also had the clouds moving in and out, which caused tracking problems and other things. So it's, you know, it's not all, you know, this is a hobby that can be fun, but it's a hobby that can be extremely frustrating when either A, you don't plan right, or B, Mother Nature decides to give you some hardships. So with that, I'm going to say thanks everybody for watching. Hope you had a better December than I did as far as imaging. So again, thanks everybody for watching. Hope you're staying safe and healthy out there. As always, clear skies and have a good one. Thank you for watching yet another video from the Asteroid Hunting channel. Really appreciate your viewership. In our upper right, we have the latest video we've uploaded. In our lower right, we have what YouTube might think you would enjoy. And in the lower left is our subscription button. Please like this video, subscribe if you so choose. As always, clear skies, have a good one, and remember Duke.